want to know your story. 50 interviews and 50 stories that have been shared. I can't believe it's been a year since I started this incredible journey and sharing all of these amazing stories. Let's recap the last 10 episodes, 41 through 50. Interview 41 was Brendan. Brendan is a public speaking coach and spent the first part of our interview trying to convince me that he was mean. I'm still not buying it. He's always smiling, always has energy, and I learned so much from our short conversation. I hope you guys have a chance to check out his interview. Episode 42 was Archie. Saint Archie, as he likes to go by. I met Archie while I was getting a smoothie, and I was kind of like interested about his appearance and the way he was dressed and how he carried himself. So instead of just leaving wondering, I approached Archie and gave him my card and asked him if he would want to sit down and have a conversation. Before I could even get home, I had a long message from Archie with his enthusiasm about wanting to sit down and tell his story. We met up at a park, and boy, what a story it was. I couldn't have been more surprised by the things that Archie had to say, but I was more impressed with his ambition and his drive and his desire to succeed. I'm excited to see what the future holds for Archie. I hope that you will watch his interview. 43 was Bill Oberst Jr. Bill is a horror film actor who I've seen in a couple of my favorite shows and things that I've watched in the past. But I recognized him instantly when he was referred to me through a connection, and I am so grateful to have sat down and had a conversation with Bill. His faith, his drive, his energy and passion came through in our conversation, and it was one of the easiest conversations I've ever had with anyone. Please watch his story, share in his passion for other human beings as well as mine. Episode 44, Marco Parra. There you go, Marco. I rolled my R's again for you. I sat down with Marco without knowing really much about him. Again, another referral from Michael Colomb, and a great person. Marco's interview had tons of laughs and great history on how he came to be an actor. Giving up sports, turning to acting after his choice was detention or act in the school play. Check out his interview and see what the first play he ended up doing was that he thought he signed up for something else. I encourage you to check it out. So episode 45 was Sarah Dahman. Sarah is the only female coppersmith in the United States. Yes, I said coppersmith. It's very, very interesting to me how she got into coppersmithing. She also does reenactments from the 1800s with her family. She empowers other people to gain new skills. She teaches younger generations about these skills and about what's possible. I encourage you to watch Sarah's story. Also, stay tuned toward the end of her story because you'll be really surprised as her one thing that would surprise people to know about her. I know I was shocked. Also, on that episode, bear with me in the sound. She lives in a rural area and the internet was very echoey, but if you can just hang in there, it's a heck of a story. Episode 46, Eric Twiggs. Eric is your procrastination prevention partner. He's also started an organization called the What Now movement in response to COVID, kind of giving people a community and kind of ideas and where to go now, after everything for us seems to have changed. Eric had a life-changing event when he was younger that shaped his future. Check out his interview and see what it was. I know I've taken a lot of things from Eric's interview, ways that I can be better and improve. I'm sure you will find a lot too. Next is Lorena Gordon. Lorena is a filmmaker and storyteller, and I got the opportunity to interview her as she was completing her last film, or her most recent film actually, called At Last. Lorena tells this story a little bit from her perspective. It is amazing. I've seen the previews, can't wait for the movie, but most importantly, I just loved Lorena's passion for other people. She has a lot of causes and is a big advocate for a lot of different things. She talks about some of them in our interview. I encourage you to watch her story. Next is episode interview 48, Veronica Parks. Veronica talks about all of the things that she has been through in her life. She was born outside of the United States and had a desire to come here and live a better life. She's been through abusive relationships, torment, anguish, and come through it like a shining star. She has healed her soul and wants to do the same for you. Please watch her interview. Reach out to her on social media. She runs a lot of contests and does a lot of cool things. She's a soul healer and a health coach. Please check out her interview. Interview 49, Brantley J. Brown. Brantley is a horror film writer. He's a screenwriter. He's produced a lot of short films. He works with Horror House Media. They're a group that does short horror films. Brantley's also working on a feature film. He just talks about his love for Halloween and his love for horror films and kind of where it started. He moved out to California following his dreams and has been doing very well. I encourage you to watch Brantley's story because he's another one who has a really fun what would surprise people to know about you. And episode 50, our 50th episode, our 50th interview and story is Mir. Mir reached out to me and wanted to film. I didn't know anything about Mir except for what I saw on social media, and I couldn't be happier to know Mir now. At the end of the interview, Mir talks about something that he is passionate about, which aligns with something that I am passionate about: other people, humanity, and doing good in the community. I invite you to check out Mir's story. He talks about his career as an actor and as a comedian, but he also talks about one big major accomplishment in his life and how empowered it made him feel. Again, thank you all for watching all of these interviews and spending the time to get to know all of the people who share their stories. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel I Want to Know Your Story. Follow on Instagram at I Want2 Know Your Story. Thanks, and stay tuned for the next 50.